Is physical discipline, is it still the way or is it outdated?
Let me ask you a question. Is
Okay.
physical discipline the worst kind of discipline?
It depends how it's abused.
You see this answer, I love it. Because people just say physical you have to be able to put it like in a scale. What kind of physical abuse are you talking about? Is it that abuse that they come home and report your mom or your dad that beat me when shoplifting at the age of 7, and now you came home and your dad beat you on the palm with belt? Is that physical discipline? Do you see that as an abuse?
To me, no, it wouldn't be. But to that's like I'm gonna put it out straight there. To a white person, would to depending on the white person.
It depends on the white, not just all white. It depends on the white.
To most of us black people, that's a normal thing.
Yes, because we see that as that is not the worst form of discipline.
Yeah.
We have emotional discipline in there that you cannot even report to the police. You have disciplines that is worse than physical discipline, that the kids can't even report to the police. Rather, that discipline damages those children for a very long time. It reduces their self-esteem.
True.
It causes depression. It makes them to have eating disorder. Because when people are sad, they tend to rely on food to be happy.
True. Or harming themselves.
And that affects their performance outside. Because I might not want to beat you as my child because I'm scared you might report me to the police. But when I say you this lazy idiot, you can never do anything better in your life.
Yeah.
You will be worse. You will be useless. Is that
what people don't realize at times is that, the way I'm gonna say this, we are very good at one thing, whether it's in our own personal language or whether it's the English that we use. When we want to abuse someone, we know how to do it. That it will touch them in places that have never been touched before.
Yeah, no.
But no, it is true what you're saying, because I used to be a big, when I was younger, because it was normal thing to see, be like, this is the way I want to raise my children in the future. But then the older I got, I was just kind of like, do you know what? I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't think it works.
Physical discipline.
I mean physical discipline in the sense of me smacking my child's hand not to do something. But
do you know another form to discipline a child without physically disciplining a child? I don't have a child, but I will tell you, if I have a child, what I would do. If this is a lamb, a hot lamb, and it's kept on the table, and my 3-year-old child is going to touch it, and stay away, it's hot. Stay away, it's hot. Do you know what I will do the third time? I will throw my face away. I will let that child touch it. Because sometimes experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Sometimes experience is the best teacher. I know that's not going to dent his physical appearance now. It's just minor. When the thing, touches him or her a little bit, she will cry. Then you now tell, I've told you don't touch it. Now you've seen it.
Yeah.
Do you think next time if that baby sees that thing, the baby will go and touch it?
The baby won't touch it.
The baby will just, So there are different forms. You don't need to hit. You don't need to beat. You don't need to kick. But I feel every form of discipline comes with crime. Every form of crime. That's why there's things you do, they send you to 10 years in prison. There are things you do, they let you walk away with maybe 6 months probation. That is every form of crime comes with a certain length of discipline. Let me tell you a little story I've watched. I watched this story on YouTube or somewhere where a child about 10, this one happened in America, he called the police. And the 2 police came home, and the mother came out. The mother said, I didn't call the police. The police said, no, somebody called from this house. The child just ran out. Yes, I called. They said, why did you call? He said, because the mother hit him. The mother was like, in the heart of that mother, she said she's fucked. You know what that means? Hitting your child, you're fucked.
Yeah.
The police now asked, what did your mother hit you with? He said the belt. The police said, go get the belt. The boy ran in, brought out a belt, gave to the police guy. The police guy said, oh, with this? Now, listen to this question. It's very, very important. Did your mother hit you with the iron side of the belt? He said no. Okay, he didn't hit you with the good. Did your mother hit you in any other part of your body with the belt or where? He said the mother hit it in his hand, on his hand. Then he said, what did you do? The mother said, he runs away from school. He doesn't go to school. Every time he leaves home and he goes and hangs out with boys, he doesn't go to school.
Yeah.
So she was angry and she used the belt and
whacked his hand.
Do you know what the police said? The police said, if you call us on this kind of issue again, I personally, I will use this bigger belt and flog the shit out of you. You see, so not everybody in the Western world support that kind of parenting style that you cannot at least, in my country we call it pepper soup. You cannot give some little pepper soup to put some, you see, I'm a Christian and I believe totally in the Bible.
Okay.
And my Bible say,
spare the rod.
Simple.
Swallow the child.
Nobody is killing, where I will get angry is you beat a child at any slight thing. I don't like that.
Yeah. And I think that's where I wanted to ask you this question from. I feel like, it's with me personally, it's like what you mean, like smacking your hand, don't do this again. Yeah. But what I was accustomed to as growing up, and obviously things have changed. Yeah. Everybody's changed. I think everybody, well, in my family has realized this is not the way to raise kids, or this is not the way to do this. Yeah. But the one thing obviously before social media, let's be honest, before all this internet thing, it's like when we as black people, and if anybody else here agrees or disagrees with me, it's like getting beaten was a session which was coming. It wasn't like, I'm just gonna beat you. It's like you're getting a beaten session.
Yeah, for this thing you've done. Yeah.
But I never, but again, I didn't, it was never right. But the way where I have to say, okay, I see where our parents are doing that from it, because that's what happened to them, and that's what happened to their parents, and that's what happened to their parents. So when the whole physical discipline thing comes from so I think people need to look at the situation sometimes and like not feel sorry for your parents, but when your parents do something like that, it is wrong. But you have to understand that's their way that they've been
brought up.
They've been brought up to think the only
I just feel that kids nowadays, they have too much rights.
Yeah,
that's why we have lots of kids talking to their parents anyhow.
Yeah.
That's why we have lots of kids insulting their parents anyhow at all. That's true. Because the right kids are now children are it's too much.
It can be out of hand.
It's too much. It's just too much.
But,
my opinion though, it's too much.
It is. Oh, I don't.
And this is why we see a lot of teenagers constituting nuisance out there doing rubbish. See kids, I watched one video in Dublin. A girl is just walking and some teenagers just shoved the girl into the train station. In Connie, I saw it. Yeah. Down. You know why they are doing that thing? Nothing will happen. What will happen? Nothing. Nothing will happen. You see, what do you think will happen? They will do it again. They will keep doing it.
Yeah.
So sometimes there are some actions that need some kind of reaction. So there are some action that you take that there must be consequences.
That's true.
So don't think you're just going to act irrationally and go scot-free. Yes, there are times we need to just pat by the wrist and go. Yes. Because I am not 100% fan on physically disciplining children. I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I feel just as I said before, it's like an equation. You have to put this before you say, okay, this is the result and this is what I'm going to do to this. To handle the situation. You just eat children. But, no.
Yeah, that's been the thing, because I've heard some very sad and crazy stories about, what people will say to me and they'll be laughing about it. Like, I got smacked when I was a child. Pretty sure you did.
That's why I was laughing at you.
I'm pretty sure every black person, and maybe some maybe some white people who watch this
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But
Some white guys back in those days, even in Ireland, back in those days, they,
they taught me something one day, and this came from a white person. How like they heard of a story how a parent will physically discipline their child. Obviously, I think that's when more like child abuse and like people started learning more about child abuse and all these things. So the parents would be like, they knew that I think the child was a stubborn child and like just always cause. So do you know how she'd beat the child? She'd only hit the child in two parts, the knees and the elbows. Why? Because there's no bruising. Brother, she only hit the child in the knees and the elbows.
That is systematic abuse.
Like, in the knees and the elbows, which was crazy.
No, that's crazy.
But like,
that's crazy.
But like in general, it kind of gets me. You know, when you hear people like how we can laugh at stories that, if you look now, they're just child abuse. You know, that's where I like.
No, because not every little thing child abuse. You spank the child on the hand, child abuse.
I think it's the internet.
That is sick now.
Do you know it's the internet?
How will you be scared of your own child? You know, because now parents are scared of their own child.
Yeah, because they'll just turn around and say we're going to call social welfare.
Simple.
Those two words.
Don't even touch them now. A child can blackmail the parents.
Social welfare. Yeah.
And say, I will cry and call the guards on you that you beat me. Now they don't even listen to the parents anymore. It's only what the child says, but they are forgetting that these are young people that thinks irrationally. Let me ask you a very simple question. In this whole world, who do you think will be the happiest man if you are better than him?
No one.
Okay, let me give you the answer. Your father. Your father will be the only man happy that you, the son, is better than him.
Yeah.
Every other person, every other man out there, they'll be jealous now. I can be the better. But it's your father that will say, oh, my son, you know that kind of thing. So if your daddy thinks that it is the right thing for me to beat you to give you some spanking on the palms for doing something that is wrong, then why do you think it's bad? The only man that will be so happy that you are better than him. Father. Now trying to put you straight, and you think because he spanked you, because some people are crazy, because he spanks you in the hand, and you think that is physically abuse. Yeah. Someone that wants the best for you, someone that's trying to guide you through. An adage in my country said, if a child tries to carry the father on the head, the scrotum of the father blocks his eyes. It means there are things a child cannot see, but their parents. So if you try to carry something that is bigger than you, you cannot see in front of you.
No, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I do, yeah.
Let me put it this way. Is your dad a millionaire? Let me say, is your dad, when I mean millionaire, when I mean very rich?
I don't.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
No, it's not against
okay,
you.
my dad is not a millionaire.
Yeah.
My dad is not a millionaire. But if I'm a millionaire, my dad is late. But if I'm a millionaire, my dad will be celebrating. Oh, that's my son. Oh, that's my son.
Yeah.
Your friends, what do you think your friends will be saying? So your dad is the only man that will be happy that you are better than him.
No, yeah, I hear you.
And that's why I say again. So why do you think that man that wants your progress and spank you in the hand for doing something wrong is physically abusing you?
Yeah.
When he's not eating you stick on the head, when he's not eating you metal bar on the head.
Yeah. Like some people I've heard.
No, see, this world, we're about 5 billion or how many people?
6 billion.
6 billion people. And you don't think there will be crazy people out there?
Yes, true.
So let's forget about those crazy nuts. We know that I've seen videos. I've seen videos that I cry when I see the way some mother, not father. I hardly see father. I always see mothers beating the shit out of 3 years old, beating some to death. Do you think that kind of person is normal?
No.
So we have them out there. They're there. They're out there. But let's forget about
Crazy
those
people.
ones. Let's talk about people that from the bottom of their heart they are genuinely laying out discipline to the kids that they love.
But wouldn't you, like let me say what the other side would say. Wouldn't some people will say like just good out communication if you can talk to your children properly, like damn Jerry you have to take a sip of a drink with it. Some people will say if you create a good relationship with your children
Yeah.
from a young age, you shouldn't be. And do you not think that's an issue with that's in general? Like some people just don't have.
Bidemi, it's like you don't listen to me. I'm trying to tell you
Yeah,
that every action
there's a reaction.
there's a reaction. So every form of irrational behavior of a child
Yeah,
has a different type of approach.
yeah,
That's why I say you don't spank your child every single minute. The child walks here, bam, bam. The child goes. No, 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 no. We are not talking about that. We are talking about you sleeping at home as a father, and the police brought your 7 years old son back home. Say he was shoplifting, and now that child you bring him in and spank him on the palm. Is that wrong?
funny story.
Then let me go again to the Bible.
Yeah.
If you beat a child with your right hand, what did the Bible say? Bring him back with your left hand. So if you physically discipline your child, when this tension is down, then you can now sit him down. I didn't eat you because I hate you. You know, I want the best for you. You get what I mean? Then you start talking. You know? Then you start talking. Because if you be careful what you say to people.
Yeah.
Because words, you can't take any word you tell someone. You can't take it back. Oh.
That's true.
Mind what you say. Because there are words you can think, oh, you want to talk. With that anger, do you think if you talk to that child, you might not tell him something that will stuck to his brain forever, that will disturb him forever? You might say, oh, you want to be a criminal now, look at you. You are now a thief, a petty criminal. You see, to you it's normal. You just throw word. But do you know that can follow that child
For the rest of his life.
for the rest of his life? Say, my dad called me a criminal. Just because I stole. You see, just because I stole from the shop. So I believe there should be a balance. You know, you must make sure that you have this relationship with your children. You don't need a situation before you advise your children, before you talk to your kids. You don't need to wait for a scenario to come before you talk to your kids. You can just, after a meal, you and your male child can just take a walk outside. You know, tell him about life, explain things. You know, like talk like friends. You know, you don't need to wait until there's a situation before you talk to your kids. Build that bond, build that relationship, so that before your kids they want to do something, they would like to tell you first.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
They will say, my daddy will not be angry. Let me talk to him. It's like a friend to me.
And that's that's another issue in itself that there's like these problems that happen, like you were saying in Dublin.
Yeah.
Obviously, everybody's aware of what happens
Yeah.
in town. All these things. Do you think that's because? Let's not take away the discipline. Like some of these kids just don't have good relationships with their parents, so they confide in their friends, and then they go. Do
Yeah,
all
that's
these-
one is peer pressure too.
these
Now. A
things.
lot of things, my brother. This world is so complicated now that we don't even understand where the problem lies.
Oh, Jerry, the problem lied. I was listening to what is it? I'm actually will go into that because that's a very interesting thing. I was listening to something, and it was to do with like all that's happening in Africa and all these things. And someone said the only reason why these problems are here today is because of the internet. They basically said the only reason why all these people are fighting is because they see how much the West are robbing Africa, and how much. So they're basically, like for example, they're treating them like shit, and then in their own country they're living life, making it look like what they're giving us is good. But what the person was saying is the only reason why these problems are here is because everybody can see the life that they're living over there, and the life they're living over
So
here.
the person that said that just said, It's the internet that is causing the problem.
Yeah, he said the minute the internet came, it's
He's
the
using a very stupid word.
You think?
That word is very stupid. He should have said the internet has opened the eyes of Africans. Don't say the internet is a problem. How is that a problem for the Africans to say we deserve this what we want? How is that a problem?
Maybe that's the way he was trying to come
He
across about.
shouldn't say that, because if he said that, what he's saying is total shite. How will you say internet is the problem? Because it's because of internet that the Africans know that the Westerners are stealing from them. And
Yeah.
it should have come across like this, that the internet is what helped the Africans to see that they are being cheated of what belongs to them.
That's true.
You see the way he looked at it.
As did
He
I
said
say.
that's a problem. We don't look at it as a problem. We look at it as something that helped us to open our eyes to what is happening outside the world.
Yeah.
So you see the way someone sees 6 and call it 9.
Yes.
You see the way he said it. So I will never accept that. I will never agree with that. You see, this internet of a thing is something that have made people rich.
That's true.
It's something that have sold people goods and services globally. It is something that have come to help the world to develop. But yes, there are some people that uses it for negative vibes. But there's nothing you can do. The knife that was created to cut meat or cut fishes, don't people use it to stab people?
Yeah.
It depends on what you want to use it
true.
for.
That's true. And I think maybe that's the way he was trying to come across.
You know,
like it's opened the eyes to people now.
So it opened our eye. Not that it's not wrong. It's not wrong. But it has its pros. It have its cons too.
What do you think about then what's going on in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali?
For me, I think it's high time Africans stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Because when I was listening, when I was listening to one lady speaking, and when it was talking about what France are gaining.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I was listening to a guy about this.
A point came. They said, when, I think, which country is it? Burkina or Mali or so, one of those francophone African countries.
Congo?
Yeah, I think so. Say when they make their money, they will now go and put the money. France will order them to put the money in French central bank.
Yes.
Then when they need money,
they have to buy.
They have to borrow their own money. I make money, give it to you. Then when I want my money, you say I should borrow it. And listen, the crazy part. Then when they want to pay, they pay back with interest. And now you are telling me for those people to stand up and say that is wrong.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
I was very shocked it was those 3 countries, because I would have thought like someone like, being honest, Nigeria or no, that's what I'm trying to say, or Congo, even those type of countries. So when I heard it was like Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, I was like, oh. But then when I heard how much and what France do in, is it Burkina Faso?
I was like,
I think it's the uranium that whatever they need to use to power the electricity in the country. That's where they get most of it. And even that thing you were saying that to do it, and this is where I didn't understand for years that I seen this. How is a country, like you said, buying currency off a country who don't even use that currency anymore, but somehow still print it to sell to another country, but they don't use it, so to them it's worthless. But to them, I've never understood it.
It's mad. This world is mad.
And I'm so happy that they done what they done.
This world is mad.
Because obviously I think it was one of them military takeovers.
Yeah, the 3 of them is military. Niger, Burkina Faso,
and then the guy wanted to start.
Country.
The guy wanted to start sending in Nigeria and other countries to help them basically go inside there and go and help them fight.
ECOWAS that.
And what did they do? Apparently Tinubu went and said, "Yeah, we should go." The whole parliament said, "Eh."
And because we have issues concerning us in Nigeria.
Oh, big time.
Where people in Nigeria are starving, they can't eat. Do you know how much is the minimum wage in Nigeria?
30,000 naira.
How much is that in euro? A month. No need to check. It's 30 euro. No, forget about check it. That's 30 euro a month for a country that produces oil.
That's what people make that an hour.
For a country that is one of the largest economy in Africa, with a population of over 120 million people. For a country that is built, that is placed in, the coastline, we have sea, everything. So if we're not even talking about oil, with a country that has rich soil, a country that produces cocoa, anything you want, and still 30 euro is the minimum wage. So let me say it's 38,000 naira minimum wage. So let's approximate it to 40 euro a month, not a week, a month. And now you are telling us that you want to go and fight. You have not fed your country. You want to take the little resources and go and support it.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
No, you see,
Like, can you actually just explain, like, how is it that this is a thing? It's just in general. I just never understood. For a country that has so much money, so much resources, so much of everything.
Because it's corrupt. Now it's a country that is so corrupt. It's so corrupt. We are not the most corrupt country in the world.
I always say we all know who it is.
We are not. We are about maybe 10th. So we are back there, but we are there. Yeah, but we are there. But ours is out there because we are so rich. We are so rich. So the corruption is in our nose, in our eyes. Everybody can see it. But still, there's nothing happening.
Do you think?
The president, let me tell you about the country that we are. A president that just left. A president that left said nobody should ask him about anything. Nobody should question about any problem of any money, anything. Nobody should come to his house to ask anything. That he has left what he wants to live and he has gone. That if anybody comes to his house, there will be a problem. It's try to understand. Imagine who is
A
government now living and is telling everyone, don't come and ask me anything. If you ask me, there's a problem. What right do you say they should not ask? If so when there's nothing in the coffers, so when they call you and say, come, we left 50 million euro here, where is it? You say they should not ask you. No, let's not talk about Nigeria. It's a story for another day. I get angry anytime I talk about that country. It's crazy. It's my country and I really love my country, but the way it's going, no. Let's just forget about that. The only thing is that it's so funny that other countries like that, they are waking up, but our own country, we're just there, suffering and smiling. Do you know who they call Fela? Have you heard of Fela Nicola Kuti? There's a music I say, suffering and smiling. That's Nigeria. We are suffering, but we are still smiling. We are one of the most happiest nations in the world, in as much as we are. Majority of the countries in poverty. Some little clique of people are making millions, billions of euro, and whilst majority of the masses is suffering, but still, God day, might be our prayer.
Yeah,
God day.
That's
It's wrong. It's totally wrong, my brother. It's wrong. But what can we do? We're trying. If you talk now, they will tell you that, you are in diaspora, that's why you are talking. Why can't you come and start the journey there? I'm no longer in Nigeria now. So you that is there, if you can't fight for yourself, you are waiting for me to come and fight for you. I have here 24 hours, there's electricity, there's water running 24 hours. I'm getting paid good money, so you want me to now leave it and come and fight for you that is the one suffering. And stay there now. Don't fight for yourself. So that's it.
Even here as well, there's the big massive housing issue, which I just don't understand.
Yeah, every country has their own problem.
Yeah,
every country, there's no smooth running. There's always a problem somewhere. In as much as Ireland has issues with housing, Ireland is still one of the best countries in the world.
Yes,
they have where they are good at. They still have what they do that keeps them up there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the problem with what is going on in Ireland, which is something that always comes up, is that okay, the employment rate is one of the lowest of the country now. The country is making money. The country is doing all they're doing. But how are you not hitting your housing targets? I think that's the main issue everybody's coming at.
And that's a question that they should call the housing minister to hold down and sit him down and say what's happening.
The EU has even called them. Sitting on like, you haven't hit your housing targets.
Ireland is the Nigeria of Europe. So let's forget about it. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean by it?
Ireland is the Nigeria of Europe.
Wait, I don't. Wait.
They are similar. They have some similarities with Nigerians. They have a lot of Nigerians. We love drinking.
Oh, Nigeria is the biggest exporter.
Irish people, they love drinking. Nigerians, we love party. We look for every reason to party. Oh, the Irish people too. The sun is out. Oh, good weather to drink Guinness out. So there's a lot of things. Irish people, when it comes to some aspects in the industry, they give jobs to themselves, the ones that they know. It happens everywhere. It happens too in Nigeria. So they are the Nigeria of Europe. But I love Ireland. It's a very peaceful country. It's a very peaceful country. Nice place.
It is. And so let me think. So I remember I want to talk to you about this the last time, but I never got a chance to talk to you. Before we finish up, the Saudi Arabians.
Those ones.
And the way they are overtaking football
they are not overtaking any shite.
So do you know they want to buy Mohamed Salah?
And they should buy now. Does that mean they are overtaking football?
But they listen to your opinion. They started buying younger players.
That's what I'm going to buy Salah. Does that change? What does that change? I'm telling you, they are using this thing to cover up some other things. They have issues there. They have human rights issues in Saudi Arabia where they treat their women like shite. There. They have other issues there. So everybody knows that they are trying to use this to curry favor from the Western world because they want to host, one tournament, Saudi Arabia.
They already hosted the World Cup.
No, they want to host another tournament. I will check, but I know they want to host another
Maybe it's the Olympics.
Another major tournament. So all these things is something that they're like, oh, we are trying to bring, the world to true football to, But good for them. I'm not saying but it's not going to disturb
football. What
football.
they're doing is ruining football.
Are you seeing? What's the effect of it that you are seeing? Name one effect that.
I don't see the effect, but
why do you think it's?
I feel like there's a fear in where obviously in the West where football is really that these people can offer players serious contracts and get rid of their best players.
Generally there's this fear.
Yeah, and it's not, and I know that there's been called with the Premier Leagues already to sort this out to stop them from buying players here.
Yeah, that fair and there, I know that because definitely at the long run everybody wants money. Everybody wants money.
Yeah,
you understand? But
I think that's, and
they can't ruin football. They can ruin the Premier League and ruin other leagues, but they can't ruin football.
True.
Football is still football. You understand? Football is still football. So maybe the thing you were supposed to say, maybe they want to ruin UEFA competitions, but not FIFA World Cup, not our nations, African Nations Cup. They can't ruin football, but they can ruin some league.
Yeah, they can ruin some league.
Yeah, they can ruin some league because if they start buying the players, it can, but it will not ruin football. Football is still football.
That's true.
Football, we'll still enjoy a beautiful game.
Obviously,
so.
And then I'll still enjoy, but I just think that like sooner rather than later, when it does start getting a lot more traction.
No, it will die. It will stop.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will stop.
I think
they have a budget. Don't forget.
Yeah, 20 billion.
Yeah, they should put that budget there.
20 billion.
Let them leave the budget.
Jerry, 20 billion.
They have a budget.
20 billion is infinite money.
A budget is a budget.
Some teams, there's all the bottom half teams who might not even be able to work 1 billion.
You see, what they are doing, it's a good strategy.
Yeah. But
it depends when people say they are trying to develop Saudi football. That's so funny. When the English team want to develop their team, what do? They start telling clubs, you have to play English players.
Yeah, yeah. They have no, do they?
You know, you have to play a certain percentage of English player in your team.
They have that in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's what I'm. You have to play a certain. That's how you. That's how you develop your team, because you have no choice. Even if Jerry is a shite player and is an English player and is your team, you have no choice. You have to play me. You know, how are you going to develop football when you are pushing out your players and you are bringing people outside to play? So how are you going to develop? How, if they want to develop their football, they should start focusing more on grassroots, on building infrastructures for young talent, encouraging young people to play the beautiful game. You know, spend that money from the grassroots. It might take time, you know, it might take time, but the end result would be beautiful. Just like the Japanese bamboo tree or the Chinese bamboo tree, that it stays underground for years. It doesn't spring out for years. It's underground. But the moment it breaks the surface of the soil, it takes how many months to reach
The top.
heights that you can never believe? You know, this kind of emergency type of football development, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to start, you have to know the root of the problem and start tackling it from down there.
Emergency type football.
Yeah, now is that not? We want to develop our football. Okay, go and buy Ronaldo. Go and bring them. That's emergency part. It takes step.
Yeah, it does.
It takes meticulous calculations. It takes planning. You know, when I mean planning, it takes strategy, and it takes time and effort.
Yeah, no, you are right.
Do you get me? Now, this player, how many years do you think Ronaldo is going to play in Saudi Arabia before he retires?
Probably the next year or two.
How many years do you think Benzema will play in Saudi Arabia before he retires?
Probably maybe max 3.
Okay. So in 3 years now, about how many of the players that are brought they have gone?
2. Major.
Now, still check some of them. They can't play football for the next 5 years. Okay, they now go. You now buy more. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
That strategy is not. I always say, as an emergency type of development.
Emergency football. But
Emergency type of development. You don't develop things like that. Development takes time. Development takes sacrifice. It takes planning. It takes strategy. And don't forget the key word. It takes time. So this thing they are doing is for another purpose.
Yeah.
It's not about developing the beautiful game, football that we love. No.
Yeah.
You know, just like as I'm watching rugby, so that people don't think it's only football I watch. I watch rugby too. I love rugby. I love my Irish rugby team. Come on, Ireland! I love my Irish rugby team. Look at the English rugby team. They have no young talent that they can. When this old talent start facing away, those young ones will take up the space. Oh, but check this Irish under 20. Yes, they lost the under-20 final to France, but you still have players that we can say tomorrow this player is going to take over Johnny Sexton. Tomorrow this player is going to take over Ross Bourne. Next tomorrow this player is going to take over Robbie Henshaw. You know, they have the team, so it's there. That is how you develop a sport. You bring them young, you start keeping them and bringing them. So that's it.
Look, guys, it's been a good one.
Yeah.
I actually like the conversation. It's very interesting. Everything that we've talked about today.
Yeah, good one.
But yeah, guys, look, next week we go again.
We go again.
I know I'm gonna be with next week. Well, I'll be with somebody. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you when we see you.
Peace out. Let me go and enjoy my drink.